Hello, everyone. I'm Coach Michelle Perchuk, and I wanted to record this video just to let you have more information about what your coaching journey will look like with me. So, as many of you know, I have a system called Plan A, PLAAN, Plan A, because with me, you're not going to need a Plan B. Let's review what each of the letters stand for and what would that mean for your coaching journey. So I'm going to have a brief little whiteboard, which is going to show you what Plan A stands for, and that will give you an understanding of what your typical results should look like. So in week one, you will be defining your passion and purpose. This is where we are going to identify 2 or 3 dream job descriptions that we will use as your dream job so that we can program that to be your dream job. And we're going to be able to reverse engineer your entire job search and your assets, like your LinkedIn profile and your resume. If you do not know what you're looking for, if you do not have clarity on your dream job, you will not be able to find the job of your dreams. Job of your dreams is something that lights you up, something that has you running to the office every day, and most importantly, paying you what you're worth. So that's the P in Plan A. The L stands for learning. That is the learning or the unlearning you need to do in order to land your dream job. For most people, it's a way of branding themselves. It's the way that they tell their story. And more importantly, it is the way that they interview. Everyone always needs a refresher. Senior executives are usually very rusty when it comes to interviewing, and very often they sabotage their own success during the interview. So, part of the program, we make sure that you learn how to interview in the right way. And what I mean by the right way is in a way that will get you the job offer and have you progress through all the phases of the interview. The A stands for acknowledging that this is not going to be easy, meaning you will need to adapt a winner's mindset. If you believe you're going to find the job of your dreams, you will find it. If you want to stay in your comfort zone and use an old antiquated system they used to use, then keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get mediocre results. But if you're going to be part of this program that gets people incredible results, you will need to acknowledge that this will not be easy. Leaving your comfort zone is not easy. That's why I will be your coach. That's why not only do I hold your hand, but we have an entire community that supports you through this phase. Okay? The next A stands for assets. This is where we fix your answers to interview questions, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and the way you tell your story. We help you craft all of those assets so that you show up as a winner on paper. You are connected to your dream job description because it is reverse engineered from the dream job that you identify with me on your first session. So when you work with us and you go through the program, at the end of the program, actually in the middle of the program, you're going to have a finished resume, ATS friendly, a resume that gets people 70% increase in interview activity. You will have a finished LinkedIn profile where you're leading with your subject matter expertise so that recruiters and decision makers can find you on LinkedIn. Okay, we finish all of that for you. This is not something that you need to do the heavy lifting with. This is something that we do for you with input from you. Okay, the N stands for networking, but not networking, just adding connections on LinkedIn, which most of you are doing. Networking with intention. That means you're approaching specific companies. I call them target companies, companies where you want to work. You're approaching leaders in those companies and you are approaching them with certain messages. When you work with us and part of the entire program, you get scripted messages that you will DM these leaders with. And what will happen is those leaders will respond to you and have conversations with you off the platform. And those conversations will lead to career opportunities. We hold your hand through this whole process. I have developed a system that works, that has candidates, job seekers like you reaching out to decision makers. And a week or two into talking to these decision makers, my clients can actually get job offers. And these are not jobs that were on job boards. These are not jobs that other people know about. These jobs are created for my clients based on their subject matter expertise. So the way I teach you to network, no one else will. This is networking with intention. This is not just adding connections like friends on Facebook. And the last A stands for accountability. So you can have the best possible system in the world, but if you don't implement that system, you're not going to get the outcomes that we want or the outcomes that you want. So I make sure that I have checks and balances in my program that are going to keep you accountable. So what are those checks and balances? You get three things. Number one, you get a platform, a learning platform called Career Hub, where all of my knowledge, I call it the Michelle Encyclopedia, is front loaded for you so that you know my terminology, you know my frameworks, you understand all of my methods and all of my systems. So all that information is in Career Hub. You have access to that for as long as you're working with me. And it's also a great way for you to review before you have a networking call, before you submit your resume, before you have an interview. You have all of the knowledge that you need to do it on your own in this course. Okay? Then you also get one-on-one coaching sessions with me. Depending on the program that you choose, you get 6, 8, or 10. The duration of those calls is also depending on the program that you're going to choose. And also, I will diagnose at certain points in the program to let you know how many coaching sessions do you need. If you need more, we're going to give you more. And the last pillar of the program is the incredible community that we have. So once a week or twice a week, we're going to host QA calls with the entire cohort. That means all of our current students as well as former students do show up on those Q&A calls. They show up, former students and former clients show up to share career opportunities at their companies. So we constantly have people from Meta, from Amazon, from major financial organizations showing up, thanking me for helping them get their dream job, but also sharing that there's an opening on their team. The current call gives you an opportunity to ask questions. Ask questions about the course, ask questions about what you're experiencing in your job search journey. You also benefit from learning from other people's questions. You also establish buddy systems with other people in marketing and tech and finance. You share information. We've had a slew of clients coming in sharing recruiter names. Now, you know my stance on recruiters. Most of them are not good, but some of them are really, really good. So my clients come into these Q&A calls to share that information. And most importantly, this community is becoming a mega place where you can network. So many professionals that I talk to always struggle with building a network. When you come to MTV coaching, not only do you get a winning system, you also get, quote unquote, a family that will support you, a community that will support you, a network that will uplift you. All the people on our weekly Q&A calls are not there because they're not serious. They're not there as placeholders. They are paid clients that have invested in themselves and invested in our program, and they know that you get what you give. So when you are showing up on those Q&A calls and you bring a lead, you will be very, very surprised how many leads you're going to get in return. So this is the program. This is the framework that I developed. And this is what you can expect and even more when you join MTV Coaching and when you invest in yourself and when you want to change your dream job trajectory. Thank you. And I hope that I have an opportunity to implement your plan with you. And once again, you have my promise. With me, you will never need a plan B.